Hello, everyone. Welcome to part 37 of my story. A series of events are starting to take place. One of his really good trusted partners, who was also an informant working with him, has disappeared, and we have no way of contacting this person. This person also has a banking account with a large sum of money in it, and he's trying to retrieve this money from this person. Well, ultimately, I reach out personally to the person's wife because I had talked to her before, and I spoke with her, and she's basically giving me this story that she doesn't know where her husband is at. He left to go to the store one day and he hadn't come back home yet. And so I'm totally not buying the story. So I'm basically telling her, my husband is trying to reach him. Could you have him give him a call as soon as he can? Well, he absolutely never gives him a call. Like, literally, don't hear from this person again. So he has a way that he can access these accounts from his phone. And so he's accessing the accounts and they've been completely closed. Like, the person has taken the money and has pretty much ran off with it or whatever. We pretty much don't believe anything that they're saying. He done fell out with the other guy who he was giving the money to, and the guy's promising him that he's gonna find a way to give him the money back. But of course the guy doesn't have a job and he has no way of paying him back, and so that's just counted as a loss at that point. So I'm worried about what's going on and what's taking place, what's supposed to be taking place, and what's not actually taking place. And so he's basically leaving out a lot on the phones, telling me to stay off the phones, but he's on the phone and he's having all these conversations with all these people. He's telling me that he's fixing all this stuff, that everything is getting done. And so I'm pretty much like, well, you told me that you had this under control. You told me that you had these people doing this and these people doing that. You got me making these phone calls. And now people are calling looking for me. And they're looking for you also because promises have been made to these people. And now you're telling me basically that you're trying to figure out what's going on, but that you're going to fix this stuff. So ultimately, we go into 2016 with a lot of chaos. And so he's steady, still going out to the club. He's still in the streets. He's still partying. He's still throwing money in the clubs. Like, it's no issues on the home front. There's a lady that's coming in town, and she's spoken with me on the phone several times. She sent money wired to this account in which the guy has run off with the money to several times, and she's spoken to him over the phone. And now she wants to come in and she wants to sit down and talk to somebody about her son's situation because she had previously just been sending money and sending money and sending money, but never has sit down and spoken with anybody. And so he's telling me that I need to go out and talk to this lady until he get this situation under control. And so I'm basically saying I do not want to go out and talk to this lady. Like, what am I talking to her about when we promise her something and it's not getting done? And so he's saying, oh yeah, it's gonna get done. Just go out and do what I say. You only got to sit down with her for like 5 minutes. So he sends me with the guy that's always recording everything. Like, for some reason, he say, no, he's volunteering. He really want to go. He want to go with you. And so, of course, the person that's recording everything is also a part of this business. And so me and this person, we go out. The person is just to be watching from a distance or whatever. And so the whole time when I'm there, I'm also on another phone that she doesn't see with him on the phone. And so I'm talking to this lady, explaining everything to her. And she's just telling me that she wants to make sure that, everything is going as planned and stuff, which was very odd because we had already previously spoken on the and she's supposed to be writing me a check this day. So she pulls out her checkbook and she goes to write me a check. But then all of a sudden I noticed that she said, you know what? I'm going to wait because I need to speak with him one more time before I write this check. And I'm going to be in town for at least another day. So is it any kind of way that I can reach him so that I can talk to him before I write this check? Well, of course, she goes to calling him and he doesn't answer. We end up leaving this place. And when we left this place, the place that she decided that we were to meet at, I noticed that the place was basically empty. Other than I seen somebody who came out the restroom wearing a flannel shirt and some blue jeans that looked very suspect. So I'm noticing that his friend is acting very suspect on this trip. Like, he keeps getting on his phone, he keeps texting, like he's doing a little bit too much. And so he's making small talk and everything and just asking me questions about the meeting and stuff. And of course, I'm on the phone talking to him, and I'm basically telling him, well, the meeting went okay. He's like, did she give you the money? Did she write you a check? All this kind of stuff. And I was like, no, she didn't write it. She want to speak to him. And so me and him, we're basically talking about the situation. Like, I'm basically telling him, like, I don't feel comfortable meeting with nobody. I'm not meeting. At this point, he was becoming very delusional. And I'm thinking that, damn, all he does is lie. Like, he's even believing these lies that he's telling. And so me and him, we're feuding every single day. And so I'm literally sleeping upstairs in the room with my two sons. And I'm on the phone. I'm talking to one of my friends about the situation, and I'm not telling her everything. But I'm telling her I'm telling her basically about his business and all the stuff that's going on. And so she's so understanding, and she's kind of like, well, maybe he just needs to work some stuff out or whatever, and just give him time to work it out. And I'm like, but it's not making sense to me, because he's been telling me one thing this whole time, and now all of a sudden it's a whole nother story. Well, I'm talking about him on the phone, and I'm not realizing that the Bluetooth in the house has come on. And so he comes up the stairs, he knocks on the door, and he's pretty much telling me when he knocks on the door to the room that he's getting ready to leave, and that I need to lock the door. And so I'm like, why should I have to come downstairs and lock the door when you can lock the door when you leave out? And he's like, just come and lock the door. And so I'm walking with him down the hallway and down the stairs, and then he looks back and says, oh yeah, and I can't believe you hate me like that. And so I'm like, what are you talking about? And he was like, yeah, I heard everything you said on the phone. And so I was pretty much like, well, whatever. So I'm on the phone this whole time telling my friend, I'm sick of doing this stuff with him. He's a liar. He's doing too much, and I just have to get out of this. And so I have my Atlanta baby. The time with her is summing up. I'm getting her ready to bring her back to the airport so her mom can pick her back for her flight back to Atlanta. And so I'm sitting there with my baby, and I remember I'm looking down in my phone, checking her mom's flight itinerary, and my baby happened to look up, and she saw her mom coming, and she tapped me on my leg, and she said, Mommy, look, my other mommy. And it was a very sad moment. So I hugged her. Literally, I'm minding my business. I'm in the room. He comes in the room, and he's just talking to me. Like, he's literally telling me all this crazy shit. And he's like, you want to know the truth? I'm going to go ahead on and tell you the truth. A lot of the work didn't get done on these cases. Some of these people, they just couldn't get, like, the people were saying no. I talked to the agents. I did what I was supposed to do. I had my people do what they're supposed to do. And they said no. And so I'm just not buying the shit. I'm like, you're fucking lying. Like, that doesn't even make sense. Like, you're out here, you throwing this money, and like, you've been throwing all this money in the club for all this time, telling me that the people was giving you a share of this, a split of this money, and you're lying. Like, it's not adding up. It's been too much money coming and going around here, and it's all been going to the streets mostly. And he's telling me that's not true. That's not what's been happening, that he's making money all these kind of other ways. And I'm trying to figure out, like, when do you leave here to make money doing all these things? And so this fool looks straight at me and tells me how ungrateful I am, how he has done so much stuff for me and his family. And if I knew the thoughts that he had on his mind right now and the stuff that he got going through his head, I would shut up and be quiet. And so, of course, I'm not shutting up and I'm not being quiet. And so I'm pretty much telling him, so what thoughts do you have going through your mind? Like, okay, so what you saying? And so he's basically telling me straight up to my face that, you want to unalive me? And so he's basically telling me, and I wouldn't be the only one, and telling me that basically that he already stressed out, that he trying to fix some stuff, and there's a lot of stuff going on that I don't know about, and that I don't need to be walking around the house treating him like he don't exist.